Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Hope everybody is doing well. Inshallah, this is your brother Mohammed Abu Shuaib from Qabakat. And today and this morning, I just briefly want to talk about the recent events, which everybody is fully aware of now. And if you're not aware of, then you must be an ostrich, just your head in the dirt and in the sand. And this is what I really want to talk about also, guys, is that after the recent events that took place in Leicester and in Smethwick and now in Coventry, I like to get your thoughts on these incidents and this so-called Hindu group. Hopefully my volume is coming good. Is my sound good, guys? Can you just type in one so I know my sound is good? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh to all the brothers and sisters. MashaAllah. I have put the link in the chat, and if anybody wants to come on, thank you, Brother Akil. Jazakumullah khair. MashaAllah, friendly Muslim, nice to see you. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Guys, I am going to speak slightly slowly because I'm still a bit uncomfortable. Like I mentioned before, I was in hospital and stuff, and I'm just fighting an infection and stuff. So if you see me start leaning to one side, it's probably my medication has kicked in. Sitting down kind of helps me a lot. After standing for 2-3 hours yesterday in the rain and in the cold to cover that footage, it really took a toll on my body, to be honest. When I went home, I was like, Ameen, Jazakumullah khairan, Habibi, Barakallah fiqh. It kind of like took its toll on me, and when I went home I had some painkillers, and so ala kulli hal, alhamdulillah, illnesses and so forth are here to test us all. So after the recent events which took place in the Midlands, especially in Leicester, and also in Smethwick, and recently in Coventry, I would love to hear your thoughts on that, guys. And if people want to come on, I have put the link in the chat. Feel free to come and share your thoughts about it. Brothers and sisters, what really concerns me sometimes is that I feel that a lot of the Muslims are blinkered. I think they don't seem to want to be told the reality of what's actually happening. I'm kind of thinking outside the box now. There is a large group of Muslims who are fully aware that there is an attack upon the Muslim way of life and so forth. But there is another huge amount of Muslims who don't seem to kind of play a part in understanding the situation. Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh Uncle Bati, mashallah, nice to have you here, mashallah, as always. Feel free to come on, Uncle Bati. It'd be great to see you and listen to you. Inshallah, feel free to come on. So, I do sometimes think that the Muslims need to wake up, especially the ones who are sleeping or living in dreamland or in cuckoo land, as we say here in the UK. We need to realize that there is. I definitely probably agree with that, brother. The Muslim population here in the UK is huge, and the problem is, I find amongst the Muslims is too much division, and I really encountered that yesterday, witnessing it for the first time. We've got Brother Friendly Muslim joining us, mashallah. Excellent. Assalamu alaikum, Habibi. How are you doing?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. Alhamdulillah, very well. And to all the brothers and sisters watching, welcome. No, brother, I'm glad to see you. And again, we were concerned, for you being out there in the cold and, for 2.5 hours. But alhamdulillah, you were there to share this information. and give it to everyone so they could see what was going on. Very important.
Yeah,
Um,
brother. Go on, Habibi, go on.
yeah, no, no. I mean, what you were saying was some Muslims were attacking some just because they were crying publicly. Again, we bringing attention to these situations is important because we
Mm.
want all voices heard. Um, whether the councils, whether the community leaders are speaking, and I think, and I don't know if you're aware of who's the community leaders in that area. Have they spoken? Are they planning to speak? Can we
Sorry, brother.
get them to?
Every time I giggle, I get like sharp pain. So I'm trying to not to giggle too much. But alhamdulillah, that's a very interesting point, Habibi. Is that the leaders here in the area where the temple is and the mosques are, they really haven't spoken out at all. There haven't been any like pamphlets or any like advertisement or some type of announcement made to the population to say, okay, everything's under control, don't get involved, and the police will handle any, all the situation. To my knowledge, there hasn't been anything, and mainly the people in this area where the temple and the mosque are, they are from the Pakistani background, so they should be fully aware. But brother Muslim, friendly Muslim, before you came on, I actually mentioned something very, very important. I think there is such a large group of Muslims or Pakistanis or Indian Muslims or whatever who've not really fully understanding the situation we're actually living in right now, that they're not fully aware that there is a plot against to destroy Islam and the Muslims, and unfortunately they're living in their own little cuckoo land. They're thinking, as long as it doesn't come on my back door, I'm going to do what I'm doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there is a small group of people who are fully aware of what's happening and what's going on, and fair play to those groups, and within that group of people who are fully aware, there's groups within in that group who are quite open, and as we saw yesterday, there's a group of young men, Muslim men, who are willing to take the masks off and stand on the side of the road and do quiet protest. They weren't chanting anything, they weren't making any gestures towards anybody, and you got another group who were fully balaclavaed up, and who didn't really respond well with the police. So there is divisions in that group also. Did you see that yesterday?
Yeah, and so do you feel, and that's a very important that there were two clear groups. And again,
Mm,
I'd like to say that the ones that were the balaclava up were a smaller majority. It seemed like
mm,
there were maybe like 20 uh, maximum that were sort of being surrounded by the police. And again, we don't know whether they were Muslims or not. I don't know whether we
mm,
could identify, were they Hindu troublemakers? Were they Muslim troublemakers? Were they just people that were not wanting to show their face? But again,
mm,
for the safety of the situation, I think the police were very clear that they wanted, if you're going to be here, we want to see people's faces. We want to be able to identify who's participating. Um,
mm,
and so, but the larger group, which seems like maybe 200,
mm,
were showing their face, and they were engaging with the police. They were talking, they were trying to give their side of the story also, as to why they were here and how it should be handled. So, there were two sides of the coin, but again, I'm very grateful that you were there, to cover that. And we're going to be also having another conversation, um, on EA Dawa, tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm also going to be co-hosting with Sister Navira, at 8 o'clock tonight. And so, this is something we want different communities to be aware. Because again, brother, you shared something which I was not aware of, that the person that a video that went viral, of a Muslim grabbing the flag from the temple. But you told me that there was more to that story.
Hmm.
Could you just explain what the other part of that story was, where someone
Well,
was trying to stop him, or?
hmm, that's a very important point that you just made there, and I thank you for reminding me. I think it's important to understand that this footage was taken from a distance, right? And it's probably been taken from a mobile phone, and the picture is quite blurry. It's not the best. It's dark. The person's dressed all in black. Or we know it could be anybody, but take it for what we saw. Take it, what I mean. For example, for what it is and what we think it is. So we thought, and apparently it's a Muslim man jumping on top of a roof of a temple and tearing down the flag, right? But we didn't see the group that was just outside the temple trying to prevent him to jump onto the temple. And that group was a small group of Muslims and imams who were standing in front of the gates of the temple and advising the youth to say, look, guys, calm down. We don't need any of this. And unfortunately, there is always one or two young people who take it a step, who don't know when to stop, brother. And we saw that yesterday, even with myself. Towards the end of the show, I was getting verbally abused from apparently Muslim brothers for being there. So there is always going to be one or two individuals, unfortunately, who are going to steal the show. And then that clip of that person taking the flag off the Hindu temple is probably about 3 seconds or 4 seconds. That clip was taken and it was put on every Indian or Asian news network to say, look what the Muslims are doing there in the UK. So the scenario or the story was basically flipped the other way, saying that the Muslims are the ones who are being aggressive. The Hindus are not doing anything. Yeah, so brother, does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And I think you're going to be joining me, inshallah, tomorrow at
Inshallah.
6 p.m. And maybe if we've got that footage, or we've got anything to add to that, we can share that. But yeah, no, I think there is a lot to be said about this. And obviously, is this tour going to continue? Are they moving? Has it been rescheduled? I think there needs to be some conversations and some public declarations of condemning these attacks, or any sort of extremist or violence that may be occurring.
Yeah, I think we're going to do another show tomorrow, inshallah, at 6 p.m. UK time. And inshallah, we all get together and we can go in more in depth regarding this organization itself. This extremist Hindu ideology. We need to address this, to be honest. And this has been happening since, I had it written down, brother, bear with me. I had it written down. I had some notes. So let me just. Yeah, so in 1989 to 1992, this particular individual, Sadhvi, her name was, she's actually a female. Somebody mentioned this person as him, that he's going around, but it's actually a female Hindu activist who's been basically, going around and doing the talks. And she's been urging and encouraging her followers to basically start to wage war against Muslims. And she's been giving out cassettes and also other type of literature towards the Hindu activists and Hindu, youth, to say, look, we need to basically take over India and make it into Hindustan, and anybody else needs to be eliminated. And eliminated is not meaning you can feel free to leave the country. No, it's actually eliminated, meaning they should be killed. So I just want to say wa alaikum salam to our sister Ihram, Omar 50 Cal, mashallah, nice to see you here, mashallah. And there's so many brothers and sisters in the chat. Uh, I love to individually name you out. We've got the Muslim apologist all the way from Malaysia. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel where he goes around in Malaysia checking out and so forth. So, brother, have you just have I been
Yeah,
muted or something?
no, your
I'm
volume. I'm just trying to adjust your volume. My fault.
alright.
Because you're getting a
No,
bit of a pitch. Sorry, that was my mistake. It just
no worries, no worries,
adjust your volume a little bit on your mic because you're getting a bit pitchy.
no
That's why.
worries.
That was
No worries.
because you're
So
right.
yeah, so this particular individual called Sadri, she has been going around here in the UK provoking the youth to say, okay, it's time to, you know, it's time to basically eliminate the Muslims. And these coach loads of fanatics who've been going around, I think they only turned up once, to the best of my knowledge, which was in Leicester. They didn't turn up in Smethwick the other day. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. They're supposed to have a meeting gathering at a temple in Smethwick, and I was told that that was cancelled. But nevertheless, Muslims did turn up and try to make a protest. And watching the images again, there's always one or two individuals who do something stupid, and then that clip, even though it might be 2 or 3 seconds or 5 seconds long, that image is the one that's going to be sent across the world. Alhamdulillah, yesterday here in Coventry, which we all saw, mashallah, the Muslims were quite well behaved. They never, tried to jump the fence of the temple or chant slogans and stuff like that. So that was really good, mashallah, here in Coventry. Wa alaikum salam to Brother Jawad and so forth. There's other brothers and sisters. I'm trying to read the chat at the same time. So it's nice to see you guys. I have put the link in the chat and feel free to come on. Yeah, Ilford's going to be very interesting. 187A, mashallah. May Allah make it easy for you guys. But one thing I did notice, and this is not an attack on the Muslims, guys. I definitely want to, and I'm quite passionate about this. Plastic cardboard gangsters or plastic gangsters, yeah. Is that some Muslims have buried their heads in the sand and they don't want to wake up to the situation that there is a war against the Muslims. And I see this a lot. I understand people got jobs, they've got bills to pay and stuff, and they don't want to get involved in any trouble. But what happens when the trouble comes to you? What are you going to do? I understand you don't want to go out physically and go out and protest and stuff like that. I understand that. I totally understand that. But when are we going to start being prepared to defend ourselves? We're too busy sitting in our couches, in our homes with central heating and so forth, watching Netflix and Disney, whatever. We're watching. We're not ready. Us Muslims are too weak. We are weak, brother. You know why we're weak, brother friendly Muslim? Because we don't understand our religion. Once we have religion, that's when we have honor. Nobody will come and challenge us if we are united upon the Quran and the Sunnah. The only reason why we're getting picked off right now, because the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentioned that we'll be like this. The Muslims will be many in number. I think Hudayfa ibn Yaman asked the Prophet ﷺ, on that day, will we be many in number? The Prophet ﷺ said, yes, you'll be many in number, but you'll be like the fluff on top of the ocean. You know, the dirt, when the ocean waves come in and you got all the, the fluff, whatever, all the foam and all the rubbish, you'll be like this. And the enemies will come and take from you like they're eating from a feast. And this is, wallahi, this is a prophecy and it's happening right now. Brothers and sisters, what's your take on that? I'd love to hear some opinions. Brother Friendly Muslim, I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree that there's different sections of people, and again we've got brother 187A. Yesterday I saw him in the chat that Ilford, there's stuff going on also. So again, if you can keep us updated as things are happening, I'll be going live tomorrow. So if you can let us know anything that happened. And if you go to Navira's channel at 8 o'clock, I'll be there. And again, we want to be updated on these situations because we want to bring attention to it also, you know, as to what is going on, to educate people and to make sure that we also stand behind peaceful voices. So we need to make sure that there is um, calm, and things don't escalate because innocent people get affected by these. There'll be innocent people walking around in Leicester that got affected by this, which shouldn't be the case. And again, I am talking about our Muslim brothers and sisters out there too, and our brothers and sisters in humanity, who we also have a duty of care to also,
Mm.
and that's the prophetic way. So I think we have to make sure that yes, whatever the media are saying, we are also um, making sure we're supporting the right voices, because they won't cover. They covered the riots, they covered all these angry mobs. Did they cover the Hindu leaders and the Muslim leaders standing together, giving a statement, calling for
Wow.
peace, saying,
Sorry, friend Muslim. This is such an important comment from our brother Akil. I actually think that this mentality. I think I was reading a book called the Servants of Allah regarding the slave trade, the coast Atlantic slave trade, and I definitely agree to some of this statement here that us Muslims are kind of like we're disheartened, and it's like we are being we've kind of accepted that we're going to be slaughtered. This is so true, Subhanallah. This is wallahi, half of this statement is so true because I think we have this mentality now. We definitely have this mentality. You know why? Because we're too much with the dunya. We're too much. We love the dunya too much, and this is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. This is the problem. We'll be chasing after the cattle and and so forth, and we'll be too much in the dunya. We love the dunya now, and we don't want and we're kind of like we don't want to get up and do anything. Wallahi, this is, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, Akhi, and I've got to stop doing that because
"No, it's all right, brother.
no, it's not good.
I'll always be interrupted by a passionate brother, who get it off. That's fine. This is something that when you're passionate about it, I'm here
Mm.
for you, brother. Like I'm here to receive what you're having. So you interrupt me as much as you want.
Yeah,
I've never got a
inshallah,
problem with you interrupting because this is something
subhanallah.
that you're right on. That
Mm.
um, there's a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah,
in the
definitely.
world, and we are fighting back, but we have
Mm.
to use intelligence. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, was a man of intelligence also.
Mm.
Everything he pondered, he worried about who would be affected, who would get hurt in the situation.
Mm.
We also bear that responsibility. If you are following the Sunnah, then you're following those teachings
Mm.
also. That when we protest, it's disciplined. We are showing our character, and we've gained the support for that. But it's very easy for the media to show one person acting out, and then that support drifts. And the innocent voices are not heard. So it's something definitely we've got to be more aware of, and something
Definitely,
that we need to.
definitely. I don't know much about Ilford. I don't know the community there. I love to hear more about the community in Ilford, but that's supposed to be taken. That particular event is supposed to be taken in 43 Cleveland Road. Hopefully, I pronounced it right. And again, it's between 6 and 8 p.m. today. So I don't, when we saw the images, I don't know, I think you saw it also, brother, that the one that in Coventry was postponed. It wasn't cancelled, it was postponed. Postponed mean maybe they're going to do it another day. It's going to be rescheduled. What do you think, brother? Postponed means what?
Yeah, postponed and to come back another day. Well, then, you know, I think maybe perhaps Muslim voices will be postponed for now, but coming back another day also. Um, and so this is where I do feel
mm,
community voices need to be heard, and there needs to
mm,
be some sort of conversations taking place. That look, are you standing by this message? Are you not? If you are, then that's fine. There will be voices that oppose that also. And inshallah, those brothers do so in a peaceful and calm manner, and let people know that the presence is there, and we don't stand for hate, or this sort of rhetoric being put out there. And again, if there was a Muslim doing the same thing and putting that as a rhetoric, then Muslims also need to stand up against that and say
mm,
no. We have a duty to our brothers and sisters in humanity, to protect and build our communities, not try and tear
wow.
them down.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, brother Akil is making some serious points here, mashallah. Jazakumullah khair, akhi. Today I actually saw a clip on Twitter where uh, allegedly a Muslim young boy and his mum were attacked. The boy was like basically beaten, and he's collapsed on the floor, and to be honest, looked like he's actually deceased. To be honest, and his mother was with him, and she's pleading with the mob, and the mob is like 25, 30 people of Hindu extremists, young men, beating this young boy with sticks, trying to break his legs and stuff. And that is on Twitter today. And his mom apparently had a niqab on, and that was ripped off her face. A couple of Hindu women grabbed the Muslim sister, the mother, and started kind of looked like she was like distraught because her son was probably has been martyred, inshallah. And she was crying, and then the Hindus were kind of like, women were pushing this old lady around, and she was like wailing, saying, look, you've killed my son. And the son was like leaning against it, sitting down, and he's collapsed, leaning against a tree. And brothers and sisters, this clip is not going to go onto any Indian media network. This is what they're going to show is a young man jumping on a temple, ripping a flag off. For them, the flag is more important than the death of an innocent Muslim. Now, check that out, brothers and sisters. There's so many images where Hindu activists have posted on Twitter and other social networks the lynching of Muslims. When are we going to wake up? This, brother, I can't emphasize enough, and it makes me very angry, because we Muslims, we need to wake up. We need to. It's sad, brother. I don't know what to say, because we're too busy in the dunya. We're too busy paying off our loans, the car that we got parked outside. We're paying a finance on it. We don't want to. We got a mortgage. We've got this to sort out. We've bought this 60-inch TV. We've got to pay off that to Argos every month, and we don't really want to get involved with any issues. And I'm not attacking anybody, whoever's in the chat, or anybody. I'm not saying, don't have nice things, but we have to understand and realize what's going to be our fate if we don't kind of like arm ourselves, meaning Islamically with knowledge, arm ourselves with information, and also be able to defend yourselves. I'm not saying, carry a knife. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying carry any type of weapon. No, learn some type of self-defense. If you're not good at self-defense, learn how to run. Brothers and sisters, sometimes I walk around a lot, and I always observe people. And every time I go shopping, I always see a Muslim brother. Unfortunately, he seems to be large around the stomach area, and his wife, with the abaya and so forth. And I'm thinking, if someone's ever going to attack his wife or him, what is he going to do? he'll probably have a heart attack straight away. And this really troubles me. I'm not saying every or like Khabib or somebody or anything like this. I'm just saying, guys, you've got to be able to defend yourselves. That's all I'm saying. If you're not going to defend, if you're not going to be willing to defend your family in some type of environment where they can learn how to defend you and defend others, inshallah. I'm sorry for going on this rant, but again, when something's hitting me really hard, I've got to get it off my chest, guys.
Yeah, no, brother, absolutely. I mean, it's also we're in different times, and we have to pay attention to our health, and especially with what's happened with these COVID situations and things like that. People have been affected differently, and you've got to support your health also. But we just need to make sure that the voices are being supported. Social media can be a powerful thing also, where we can get together, where we can communicate, where we can support the messages that need to be said, and get it out there, essentially. Is there a bird?
Yeah, I've got a bird outside, brother. I've got my door open of the gym because what happens, I like the fresh air because sometimes if I'm closed in, I just don't feel good. So I like to have the door open so fresh air comes in.
Yeah, no, I think the bird agrees with me and seconds my opinion and yours too. So,
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So the question here we got here from what happened with Hindu and Muslim. Basically, we've been talking, brother. If you are a Hindu, feel free to come on. The link is in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and talk about it, feel free to come on. So yeah, the bird needs to do some push-ups, inshallah. Yeah, so basically, guys, I've got a small garden, and I like gardening. One of my hobbies is gardening, and it seems to attract a lot of wildlife, alhamdulillah, which is a nice thing. And also, my neighbours, they've got about 5 or 6 cats, and they always seem to come into my garden. Once they see the birds like on my trees and stuff, the cats are kind of attracted and they come. So there's like a constant battle amongst the nature here. So but alhamdulillah, so it's interesting. So yeah, guys, the link is in the chat. Inshallah, it's Yom al-Jum'ah today, and alhamdulillah, here in the UK it's about 20 past 11. Maybe we stay longer probably stay up to about 40 minutes or so more. Myself and Brother Friendly Muslim and on EA Dawa will be doing a stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. inshallah UK time, and we're going to go more in depth regarding this particular movement and the conflict between the Hindus and the Muslims here in Coventry.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to be with you for another probably 10 to 15 minutes. I've got a call that I need to jump on, inshallah. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll obviously be cutting it out. But yeah, no, for anyone that's watching at the moment, we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work, and again, allowing for Brother Mohammed to be out there yesterday was great. It was on the scene footage, live and direct. So we absolutely need voices, local voices, letting us know what's going on, so we can draw bigger attention to it. And yeah, no, I think the brothers and sisters are also enjoying your fitness talk. Um, one of the sisters, she's in there, wants to, get in with the training also and giving some tips, inshallah. So
yeah, I think to my sisters, I would definitely say to you is to learn how to box, how to do some type of striking, and the confidence that it will build, it'll be amazing. Um, every martial artist or UFC fighter will always tell you that first, boxing is the most important. Learn how to punch correctly, and how to strike, and of course how to avoid the punches. I would definitely say, I don't know if there's any sister only gyms or you know classes or something that you can go to in your area. Maybe you should. I definitely think you should learn some type of boxing, and also, I don't know what space you've got at home. Maybe do some skipping and get some like hand weights, maybe, and do some shadow boxing and stuff. Um, so yeah, I'll definitely recommend that.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I'm glad Sister Iram is a mod there also. Yeah, I need when I'm live next, sister, I need you on there also to leave a comment because Bushra is on there and she's one of my mods also on Friendly Muslim. So yeah, I'll be going live a lot more with Brother Cov FF. We're trying to get Friendly Muslim to a 1,000K subscribers so I can start doing the community posts also. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters now in this little network of channels that we've got going on. Um, and I'm in touch with everybody, so I want to be able to direct everyone to the different streams that are going on and giving updates basically. So there's a lot more. Alhamdulillah, within this sort of like 90 days or so, we've built this little community of channels that are all supporting each other. Um, and if we've got 2 minutes, I think yeah they're loaded up here. Are they here? Did I load them up for you? Uh, Oh yeah, yeah, I did. So yeah, so brothers and sisters. So brother EA Dower and myself put these together for everyone, just so you know what to do. But yeah, no, if you're here on Cov FF, brother, look, this is what you saw this yesterday. But yeah, I love this. I love this picture. This brings me so much joy.
Alhamdulillah.
Subscribe to the Cov FF. Shout out to the sponsor Bearbeard. Hit the notifications. This our beloved brothers at Bearbeard also. But yeah, no, um, we've got a lot going on. And again, shout out to EA Dawa who put this on. If you're not aware of EA Dawa, this is another brother supporting the Dawa and supporting all the channels also. So if you're not aware of him, go and subscribe to EA Dawa. There's a lot of content going out there. And again, my show will be hosted on there and on the Friendly Muslim tomorrow. So please support what we can. Okay, good point. What can we do other than the protest? But the protest is one thing, which is one part. The next part is getting behind the community leaders. The other part, then, obviously, this is the part that I'm trying to push, is connecting voices, to mainstream platforms. For example, this the Hindu leaders and Muslim leaders, that story isn't out there enough, and I'm trying to get as much attention to that as possible because I think that model needs to be replicated. I think in Coventry, that needs to be replicated. I think community leaders their voices need to be heard. And that way, when these things do occur, it's a stronger voice. It's not opposing sides. It is one voice basically standing together against common message that could be harmful, not only to Muslims but to Hindus also. Again, these extremists are always in the minority, but they seem to get the most attention, and that's the problem. And
It is interesting you say that. We have to wake up, brothers and sisters, that we have to understand that there is definitely a plan and a plot to kind of like get rid of or break down the Muslim family. brother Daniel Hakikatu, isn't it? He explains it really.
Very good.
Hakikatu. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't beat me up for that. Yeah, brother, can you mention his name properly? His surname. I find it.
I know. I had to, I understand. I had to do. I struggled for a long time. Obviously, we interviewed him on EA
Hmm.
Dower and had a discussion. But
Hakikatu.
yeah, Pikachu. But
Hakikatu.
if you remember Pikachu, which is
Yeah, I
the
do.
thing, and you remember that, and then you add the Pikachu, you're fine. So instead of a Pikachu, add a Hakikachu, and you're fine. So that's
Hakikatu.
how. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Hakikatu.
So there you go.
Yeah, on a serious point, I'm trying not to laugh at you because every time I laugh, I get like it's bit of so stop it. Yeah, so you might have to bring the tissue papers over, start crying. So yeah, Daniel Hakikatu, right? Have I mentioned it right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of like he tells it how it is. You know, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and I really like it. And I like the way he's kind of linked up with Sheikh Uthman and Sheikh is it Abdul Karim from the USA, originally from Egypt. I like the way they've kind of linked and made the AIM. I think the AIM Dawa project or something. They've made a very interesting
Yep. Yep.
a bondship, which is going to be really beneficial for the Muslims. Definitely will. So I really do think, brothers and sisters, there is a bigger picture for this to happen. Every media outlet I saw for the last 2 or 3 days, or probably more, it was definitely about the Muslims and how they were negative towards the Hindus. The only images I kept on seeing is like the Muslim youth apparently taking the flag down of the temple. I never heard anything to say the Muslims are the ones who are being attacked. The Muslims are the ones who are innocent. Until maybe yesterday on Channel 4, I saw a very good article, a news summary saying and explaining actually the reality, what's actually happening. So I definitely think, guys, we need to wake up. We need to spread the message. The brother had a good question, and I'm trying to get back to that question, is that if we can't protest or if we don't want to protest, and I understand some people don't believe in protesting, and I think there's some fatwa, some rulings against protesting and so forth. I think we need to spread the information, and streams like this will help that and make everybody aware that really there is a bigger goal for these non-Muslims, and the aim to basically dissolve the Muslims spiritually, physically, and I do think that they're trying to distract us all from what's actually really happening around the world. And like the brother mentioned, I think earlier regarding social media is taking. We got brother Mohsin joining us. I don't know. Do you want to add in, brother? I don't know,
Yeah.
brother Mohsin. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really all. That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah. Go on.
problem.
Assalamu alaikum.
brother Mohsin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. Yes, we can.
I'm from
Okay,
India.
interesting, brother.
Exactly.
Okay, nice to have you on here, brother.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. I'm from India. So it is not. So what is happening? What happening in UK is not something new, because the BJP has strong UK and or the NRI supporter. So they always have this kind of people, but the time this is the time they show their real face, and Muslim are not united. You see the all the Muslim are scatter all the not politically. We are not politically motivated. We are not united. So the mob that you see is not something new. That's the only time they got time to attack, and so we Muslim need to get be vigilant about it. Not like violently, like physically violent, but we need to be aware of those kind of people, and especially the Muslim living in isolated area. So for what I know, gather the information, the Guju community, the Gujarati Muslim community got attacked. So they live in they are mainly the very peaceful. The Khoja community are tend to be very peaceful. They are not like violent. They live isolated places. So I'm just saying that Muslim need to get like united in this time, and this is like a very heartening, very disheartening thing. Why we are not fighting back? Like you see this, even in UK we are getting attacked, and even in foreign country we're like a bully. We are bullying. We are getting bullied by those kind of weak, wimpy Hindus, vegetarian people. Like it is so embarrassing, and uh, just I'm just saddened by this kind of situation. I'm just want to say this only information that I want to say. Even in you see Indian Twitter, they have like every other day they have very hateful stuff trending on Indian Twitter. So they are like they have IT cell, they have money, they have people around them. So it's kind of disheartening to say Muslim are at least not united. It should be at least like one voice. So that is only a message that I want to say, and that is the only reason. And Muslim
It's
are
nice
like
to hear.
just
No,
bold.
Brother Musil, yeah, it's nice to hear from you. Which part of India, if you don't mind telling us and the
I'm
audience,
from
are you in?
center Maharashtra, center India.
And the population there, is it majority Muslims or what's the population?
I think we have significant amount of Muslim population, and we also have the kind of political information, क्या बोलते, influence in this part of the. So we are kind of safer area. This is kind of like safe zone for Muslim. But the North India is not very safe, especially the Haryana and the North East UP, which is like like a not very safe zone, which is like a cow belt, what we call. So they
Yeah.
have North India is not very like we don't have support of like political support, or Muslim are very like weak and weak over there and poor over there. In Mumbai and in Pune and Bangalore, we have stronger Muslim community, well educated people. But even but in Gujarat, in other places, Muslim are not like very strong and politically and like physically, and they are like poor people. So that's why you're going to get the cow lynch mob attacking the Muslim on like in northern UP and Bihar and all those places where they don't have like a Muslim majority or significant Muslim people. So that is that. So it is like every other day, like even in TV they are you don't get to know Indian television they are openly blasphemy. They are debating like very blasphemous stuff about Islam, like they are about the character of the prophet. If you know the what is happening, the ex-Muslim, they are inviting the ex-Muslim in, they are giving platform to this kind of one ex-Muslim people, especially the right-wing Hindutva ex-Muslim. So
Yeah,
we are
bro.
getting bombarded left and right and center. We are Muslim are getting bombarded, especially the Indian Muslim. So
Yeah, no, no.
anybody has to say about it? Sir?
Yeah, no, no, brother. I mean, thank you for bringing that to the attention because
Exactly.
I'm very aware of what's happening there with those certain ex-Muslims. And something that I've been part of is actually bringing to light some of them and the rhetoric that they're spreading. So what we actually want to do is we want to make sure that those, and I know the channels that you're talking about, the exact people who were there, and they're being called out, because they're very particularly sending out a message of hate and intolerance, and so I think brothers out there also galvanized. I don't know if you're aware of Iman Union. You
Yes,
got
yes, yes, yes. I am
Pastor
quite part of.
Raja
Yes, I am
Ahmed.
convert.
Yes,
Yes, I am no.
yeah, and
Yes,
Yasser
please continue.
Wajdi, yeah, and all those other brothers out there. I'm sort of in contact with, and we've been, supporting their streams also. And some of the brothers from the UK, brother Hamza Zozis went over, Daniel Hikichi went over, and inshallah, there are going to be other brothers going over there and speaking on those channels and platforms. And we're going to continue to support the right message out there. But no, we are bringing these things to the attention, brother. And again, Shazak for coming and letting us know it's important, and this is the next step in the next couple of weeks that I am going to be reaching out to the brothers and sisters on that side to let us know. And I'm going to be hosting a show on EA Dawa called Friend Zone News. Where we're going to be covering these topics. So please join us also tomorrow if you can. It's at 6 p.m. UK
Exactly.
time.
I will.
And come to EA Dawa, or my channel will be on my channel, so the Friendly Muslim. We're broadcasting it there. So come over there, and we want voices from
Inshallah.
all over, because I've been speaking to the brothers and sisters there for 6 to 8 months now, even longer. And we definitely want some of those brothers coming over here and speaking, and we're going to be getting the brothers and sisters over there speaking also, because it's
And we
important.
also need and we know all and we also need the urdu apologetics. We need stronger urdu apologetic youtuber, but we have very few. Like, I also know the imam union, certain people of the imam union, what you're talking about, but there are few people. We need stronger, like we need like Daniel Hikatu type intellectual in like urdu speaking audience, so we can
Mhm.
tackle all those kind of on those ex-muslim, fake ex-muslim, and we can give them answer in their language. So that is
Yeah,
only
no,
thing that I
no.
want to say. So Khuda Hafiz.
Okay, brother.
Okay, brother. Nice having you.
So please.
Okay,
Jazakallah khair,
dear.
brother
Okay,
Muslim.
so
Make
that's
God
okay,
Hafiz.
Jazakallah khair,
alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair.
Amin wa yak.
Wow.
Subhanallah. That was.
Hearing a brother from that side of, brings you
Mm,
home, brother. Alhamdulillah.
mm,
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, I've been doing some work. This is some people don't know that the work I've been doing on that side, also previously, and supporting those channels, and letting them know that, look, we need to hear your voices, because
mm.
things are happening, and it's not being heard. So yeah, no, inshallah, brother. Um, there are a few things we need to cover. Um, yeah, I mean, I've got to sort of jump off in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give out another shout out. If anybody wants to come on and talk about this particular topic, the link is in the chat. We've got some new people, visitors coming in, and we've got Brother Ish Khan here. We've got our brother Joe Baz here. If anybody wants to jump on and talk about this particular topic, we've got about another 15 minutes or so, inshallah ta'ala. So feel free to come on and we can maybe discuss this. And I know after Ilford, there's another one planned, I think, in southeast London. I think that's going to be the last one for this particular extremist group. I don't know if it's going to take place, but like I mentioned and touched on before, to the best of my knowledge, the one in Coventry was postponed. It wasn't actually cancelled or stopped. It was postponed for maybe another day. So are they still going to take place, which is going to be interesting because I mentioned while I was live yesterday that the day before they were actually painting and decorating the temple from the outside, like they're going to have like a special guest coming over or some type of gathering. So maybe it will take place, but maybe it won't be kind of announced. And if that takes place, then I think there's definitely going to be the tensions are going to be very, very high, subhanallah, because as we saw yesterday in Coventry, the youth turned up, and, they weren't scared, they weren't, they were quite disciplined, to be honest. No one was arrested, brother friendly Muslim. No one was arrested. The police liaison team spoke to some of the youth and they kind of like listened to what they had to say. So it's calm, it's quite disciplined. What's your thoughts on the group in Coventry?
We saw two sides of them. They were
Mm,
talking and things. I know you had a little interaction with one of them.
mm,
And I think he was on his own, and just you always get one or
mm,
two, and hopefully there wasn't more. And I suppose when you're taking video or whatever, some people might get a little bit paranoid as to what's going on, and but you always have your advertising on, so people
mm,
know what you're what you're up to and why you're doing what you're
mm,
doing, sort of thing. So I think that's something that should be taken into consideration. But yeah, brother, we definitely have to keep on covering this. I
Yeah,
just noticed that
definitely.
you did a video on who this person is.
Yeah,
Uh,
feel free to. We can play that as we kind of like end the show, and people can maybe listen to it. And I sent it to you on WhatsApp. Is that the same video you're talking about, brother?
let's let me. I'm gonna go into your channel anyway, and I'm gonna this person that you. I can play that now. Who you're actually talking about? Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right, brother, I've got to go. I've got a
okay,
call
inshallah.
coming in for the doctor, so let me just take that.
May Allah
Uh,
make it easy for you, brother. No worries. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Let me just.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, it's been an interesting couple of days here in Coventry. As you witnessed yesterday, I was live streaming from outside the temple where this particular radical extremist lady, Sadvi, apparently her name is Sadvi, was booked to do a talk there 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. and I was there live. And a large group of Muslim males turned up dressed in all black. The police were there. There was a huge presence of police, and I think the police kind of like seemed to do a good job. They kind of diffused the situation. What they were saying that, which was interesting. I've never ever seen this done before. I don't know if you guys have come across this. That they were saying to the youths, if you want to protest close to the temple, you've got to take your face covering off. If the other group who didn't want to take the face coverings off, they were told to basically disperse and go further away from the temple. So there were like two groups. You had a group of Muslims who took their, mashallah, wa alaikum salam, brother ABC Dawa. Yeah, brother ABC Dawa, definitely send me an email and send me an email with your address and I'll send you a shirt, inshallah. But brother ABC Dawa, mashallah, is a fantastic YouTube channel to check out, brother ABC Dawa. Feel free to come on, brother, if you want to say a few words. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, so the police were telling the youth to take the masks off, right? This is the first time. This is another topic which is quite controversial, right? So what the police were saying to the group of males outside the temple here in Coventry, that if you were to stand close to the temple and protest, you've got to take your face coverings off. But there was another group of young Muslim males who didn't want to take the face covering off, so they were pushed away and cordoned off in a different part of the area or the road. So that is very interesting. I like that, mashallah, it's good. So yeah, guys, if nobody else wants to come on and say a few words, and inshallah we'll probably wrap it up in the next couple of minutes, and inshallah final thoughts from me regarding yesterday when I did a live stream. I was kind of like amazed by the police attitude. It wasn't heavy-handed. They tried to negotiate with the youth here in Coventry, and which was good, and the police were in numbers, as we saw in Leicester and in Smethwick. There was hardly any police, but here in Coventry the police were, mashallah, high in number, and they seemed to deal with the situation really well. One thing I've got to point out, that within the short area where the temple is located on Stony Stanton Road in Coventry, there are numerous mosques in that area, and to the best of my knowledge, there were no police attendants at those locations where the mosques were. So there was no There were no like police vehicle parked. There was no like PCSOs walking around. Everything was located. The police resources was actually located outside the temple, which I found quite strange. So if the Hindu protesters or the activists were going to turn up, they would have attacked the mosques very easily before they got to the temple. So I really found that quite disturbing, to be honest, and I found that quite strange. Why would the police do that? So this is another topic, and a quite controversial topic in itself, is that why won't the police securing and protecting the mosques in the area? Only the temple was being protected by the police. And also, your health. Joe Baz, alhamdulillah, I'm feeling better. I've got a lot of pain at the lower stomach area. The medication, like even now, I can feel it like kicking in, and I'm kind of like speaking slowly. Definitely my health is not 100%, but inshallah, I'm on my way to recovery. The worst thing is the doctor said I can't lift any weights and I can't run, and this is quite mentally kind of like upsetting me. So, as you can see, I kind of like live in the gym, and people who know me here in Coventry always see me running and in the gym and so forth. So, inshallah, hopefully after a week I can start training again. Inshallah. So, if anybody wants to jump on, Ameen, Sister Ihram, inshallah, hopefully I'll recover. Inshallah, Ameen. Keep me in your supplications, and hopefully we'll be doing a stream tomorrow on Brother Friendly Muslims channel and an EA Dawah at 6 p.m. UK time. Hopefully I'll be able to join that stream and say a few words. So today's and the last couple of days have been quite interesting for me. Coming back from an illness, recovering, and then Jazakumullah khair, akhi. And a couple of days, what's been happening in Coventry with the Hindu and Muslim conflict, that's been kind of like very like eye-opening for me. And once again, I really want to finish off on this, is that, I do sometimes think that this is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prophesied that this will happen to the Muslims, is that we'll be large in number, but we'll be like the fluff, the rubbish, the scum on top of the ocean. Is that we're large in number, but we're too weak. We're weak. Why? Because we left our religion. We commit too many sins. Where our foundation of Tawheed is gone. There's too much innovation in our religion. We need to return back. The only way we are going to be honored and feared by the non-Muslims is once we return back to our religion. And this is very, very important, brothers and sisters, that we need to learn our religion from reliable, authentic sources. And one of the best, as you brothers and sisters are fully aware of, one of the best YouTube channels that I've come across is, of course, our noble Sheikh Uthman Ibn Farouk, the One Message Foundation. I definitely think he's that's very, very, very true, Habibi. Is very true. We have abandoned Iman for worldly gain. I mentioned that before. So it's definitely that's the fact. Asad M, inshallah, we're going to cover this again tomorrow at 6 p.m. So feel free to join on. It'll be on EA Dawah and possibly my channel and Friendly Muslims channel. So feel free to join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. inshallah UK time. We've got to wrap it up today because it's nearly Jummah for me here. So I've got to prepare myself for the masjid, inshallah. So yeah, brothers and sisters, I'd like to thank all of you, mashallah, for being so respectful and polite and giving me the support and empowering me to do these streams. And it's nice to do these streams, mashallah. It just kind of like makes me reflect upon what life's about. And one thing I want to end. This is my last thing I'm going to end on is when you go to the hospital and when you look at other people how they are suffering, it really makes you grateful for what Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has blessed you with. I was in a room of 6 people, guys, and every individual had their own type of illnesses, and I was thinking mine was the worst, but in reality, mine was like minor compared to some of the other individuals in my ward.
No one's, and you're not here. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Yeah, sorry. I'm back. I think brother Mohammed is coming back. Okay.
Okay, inshallah. I'm using. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I do apologize, guys. I think my internet went down for a short while, so apologies for that.
Okay. Brother 187, are you here? No. Okay.
Oh, he's there. He's got his camera on now. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, okay. All right. If you want to be added, just let us know because I don't want to add you if your camera's on, bro.
187. If you want to put something in the chat, in the private chat.
Yeah. Oh, are you on? Okay, he's live.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, he might be in Ilford. Hang on. Let me add him for a second. Let's see if we. Brother 187.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa
Wa
alaikum
alaikum
salam, brother.
assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sorry, I'm not using the headphones, so I can't really hear much. But I just wanted to show you the location. So the Ilford one, there's a beautiful mosque right there, and right opposite is
Yeah, see
the
it.
temple that they
Wow.
said they were gonna come do this protest at. So yeah,
What time is this due to happen?
there's no one really here. I see no movement or anything. It's dead out there really.
Yeah, I think they may have
So
postponed it then.
there's a Monday right there. It's all quiet. Uh, you know, and there's a mosque right opposite.
Wow.
A
Subhanallah.
beautiful mosque, mashallah. They've done it
MashaAllah.
so nicely. Beautiful, beautiful mosque. A nice minaret there. So I mean, and it's Jummah, so and it's Ilford, so I mean, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think they're gonna turn up today.
Mm.
Not here by any stretch. I don't know if this is the cause. I think the people that work at the temple,
Mm.
that's the
Interesting.
temple.
And that's the mosque.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the most opposite.
Yeah, you think that they would be
So yeah, I just
think
wanted to show you guys. There isn't much movement going on at the moment. I know it's an evening thing, uh, but even now it looks pretty peaceful.
Alhamdulillah. So far. There's no police presence there, brother. No police, no PCSOs walking or anything.
No, the road is there's a church right at the end of the road. There's no police there's undercovers or anything. No, I don't really see any, undercovers or any police at all. Like literally nothing. Um, so yeah, it's like a side road, and it's not like a busy road.
yeah, no, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that. Just to put here, I think we're uh your Ilford correspondent today.
Mm.
I mean, are you going to be there between 6 and 8 o'clock, or
Sorry.
are you going to be there between 6 and 8 o'clock? I don't know if they've got a
Oh
talk.
yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, one of us, or maybe both of us, will be live at that sort of time. So,
Yeah,
keep a lookout for it, bro. And if you want to be we'll do the replay of tomorrow, and you can be
yeah,
our
definitely. I mean,
correspondent there, just to keep
that
a
I would definitely be happy to link up
yeah,
with
brother. Yeah.
you.
So just subscribe, and let's see. I'll hit
This is
the
the platform,
yeah. We want to know what's going on
so there isn't
um
much.
on the street, and we
Let
want
me
to be able to.
let me send my team in a bit. Let me see
Inshallah, that's what we want, bro.
at the
We want to know
moment.
what's
There's
going
not
on.
much going on.
Yeah, because if Sky News and the BBC aren't reporting this, at least we can be showing this, and then I can share this on bigger platforms when I speak, also.
Yeah,
And let them know that look, listen, we know who wants trouble, we know who wants to peacefully demonstrate, we want, and we're not going to have it that the actions of a few are going to affect the whole of our brothers and sisters, also.
yeah, definitely. To be honest, this Ilford location, there's a large Pakistani community here. For them to even consider, like, Ilford, it's almost like suicide, to be honest.
Yeah, not a problem, brother. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to wrap things up.
All right.
And inshallah, I'll go live, or Brother Kov will go live. We'll have a conversation, and we'll be going live. So look out for Friendly
All right.
Muslim, and subscribe to all those channels there,
Yeah.
and also Kov FF. But yeah, we're going to be doing this a lot more. And
Inshallah.
our brother make it viable for our brothers just to call in, hit the link on StreamYard, and share some footage or some information, or even interview people,
Mm.
Yeah.
and share what's going on bigger platforms, inshallah. All right, brother. 187A. We'll speak to you later, inshallah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Stay safe, inshallah. Okay, brother, friendly Muslim, I have to wrap up. I've got to prepare myself for Yom al-Jum'ah and attending the masjid. I just want to say thank you so much to you and the brothers and sisters who've been watching. Thank you to brother 187A, for mashallah, for giving that live exclusive footage and updates about the setup and how everything is quite interestingly, how everything is located. You got the Hindu temple, and then right off opposite you got the masjid. So that's very interesting. I hope everything works out well there. I hope no violence takes place or any nasty stuff, inshallah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and so we'll catch up later on, inshallah, brother.
Inshallah,
But
inshallah,
yeah, subscribe to Friendly Muslim and hit the links on all those channels there, because we go live, and again, subscribe to Brother Kov FF.
inshallah.
We definitely are going to be supporting our brothers and sisters, and getting the message out there, inshallah.
Okay,
So until
inshallah.
next time, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Brother Friendly Muslim and EA Dawa's YouTube channel. Thank you guys, and inshallah keep me in your supplications. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.